The Conjuring is a supernatural horror film by director James Wan, released in 2013. Upon its release, it was given an R rating, not for excessive nudity or gore, but simply because of its sequences of disturbing violence and terror, which is pretty much the greatest reason a film has ever gotten an R rating. So the story goes like this. Family 7 moves into a new house on Rhode Island and slowly experience weird bumps in the night and uncanny occurrences. Carolyn, the mother, gets help from demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren to help find out what's going on. Upon realization that the land is cursed by the previous owner, Caroline gets possessed. The Warrens, along with their ragtag crew and her husband Roger, ultimately succeed in exorcising Caroline, and everyone lives to see another day. Apart from the obvious inspirations that this film takes from, The Conjuring has three main concepts that stand out the most when observed under a microscope. Repetition convulsion from Freud's The Uncanny, sisterhood and feminine vulnerability as seen in Hill House, and last but not least, Jeffrey Cohen's seventh thesis, the sixth one in particular. In Sigmund Freud's The Uncanny, he posits that a one-time coincidence only becomes a problem if it transforms into an unexplained pattern, such as someone encountering the number 62 day after day. While the repeating of 307 is apparent throughout the movie, I think a stronger example is the broadly untold pattern of threes. Ed explains to the family that the three consecutive rappings are an insult to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Three notes are played on the piano, the Warrens visit the parent home 3 times, and the 3 stages of demonic possession discussed in the lecture hall foreshadow what happens to Caroline. This adds a layer of, well, uncanny to the film, because other than the rappings themselves, this pattern is only picked up by the viewers rather than the characters themselves. Speaking of characters, most of the supernatural occurrences are either witnessed by or directly involved with women, regardless of their age or their class. For example, Caroline, a mother of 5 daughters, keep in mind, is the primary vessel for Bathsheba, who's the main kind of antagonistic force in the film. The trope of the little girl becoming friends with a sinister companion obviously parallels The Exorcist, with April and Rory's supposed friendship. Lorraine, an expert in her field, undergoes severe trauma during the Maurice incident. Perhaps the most blatant example is the bedroom scene with Nancy and Christine, with the demonic encounter behind the door mirroring Eleanor and Theodora's supernatural encounter inside their bedroom from Hill House. But let's get out of this house and enter this one. Thesis number 6 from Cohen states that we feel a simultaneous repulsion and attraction to monsters. I will, of course, extend this to demons and the supernatural as well. Just to twist this idea a little bit, let's look at the monster hunters rather than the monsters themselves, the Warrens. Throughout my analysis, I've deduced that the Warrens themselves are a symbol for our fascination with monsters. Said fascination is further proved not only by this full lecture room at a talk about possessions, but with the artifact room as well. This agent here asks why the Warrens keep all of these demonic trinkets in their house. Ed replies that it's better to have these spirits stored and bottled up. We collect. The uncovering of old maps of the estate along with the hiring of a camera crew feeds an ornate desire to explore. We investigate. And finally, most of us have some inherent wish that we were the Warrens themselves, experts in a taboo field that seek to explore new realms while helping the innocent. We fantasize. These converging elements seen in the Warrens and in their actions is the reason, I think, that we're so enamored with their story, about the cathartic feeling we get when we see Caroline exorcised. But that feeling, however, is fleeting, for as Cohen states, the monster is always coming back, always at the verge of eruption. And so ends my analysis of The Conjuring, which in all accounts is a modern horror classic. There are many sequels and spin-offs of the film, should you wish to experience more of the Warrens' adventures. Are they as scary as the first? Well, that, dear viewer, is for you to decide. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.